to the Historical Society. This is the Take from 8 Ball. Today we will be looking back at monumental figures from the 8th century. First up, Scandinavian warrior kings.
What the fuck?
Take out the terrible rule from 810 to 850.
What the fuck are you doing?
Thanks again, tune in next week.
The following presentation does not represent Australian opinion or intellect. We do not speak for any religious order or ethnic minority. We are not political scientists or uni graduates. We're insignificant upper-lower class scum, comparing notes and airing grievances. It's just our opinion. Deal with it.
No way that GST will ever be part of our policy. Never ever, it's dead.
If they don't like it, go back to where they're from.
It is a big idea.
No, we don't need them.
A new world order. By 1990, no Australian child.
Everyone just say word.
Syphilis.
Why is it always syphilis?
It's basketball. How to speak San Francisco. Vagina.
For some reason, just literally just stopped. It's weird.
Would it stop because maybe something might have, like a...
No.
Being intercepted by the AFL.
Yeah, maybe.
They got satellites.
It's like the MLB, man. It's like the MLB.
Just leave it. All right, doesn't matter. It's fine.
Yeah, what's your thoughts? 8 weeks, enough?
No.
I don't think it's enough either.
I think it's too much.
No. Seriously?
Fuck off, idiot.
Footy is a sport
Yeah.
for wusses now. It's a game of
Okay,
pussies.
but the ball wasn't around anywhere near the play. You just got to turn around
Please
and
stop.
knock
Hang
his...
on, wait. Don't be a troll just for the sake of being a troll. Dickhead.
I'm not a troll.
This is legit. You think
this
it's
is
too
legit.
much?
Hang on, okay, because I agree they've softened the game up beyond, like, some point it's ridiculous, but it wasn't, it was 100 metres off the ball.
It wasn't nowhere near the ball.
Nowhere near the ball.
Well,
These two guys were just on the wing.
just on the wing.
It wasn't fisticuffs like they were going at it and they started swinging. He's just gone up to him and panelled the guy out.
He said he meant to hit his chest. But you don't hit that much with intent to break someone's jaw and 4 teeth to come out.
Well, you would have followed through. Like, if he was aiming for the chest with power.
Absolutely.
Would have followed through.
But it was more of a jab.
Yeah.
It was straight to the face.
Well, then he's got a glass jaw.
He's 18, man.
Exactly. He shouldn't be on the field. Be in the youth development longer.
No. You know what? No, hang on, man.
Look, mate, in the 89 grand final, all right?
Oh, my God. Hey, that was 30 years ago.
Look, they've got Dipper and all that.
They punctured Doomy's lung.
It broke ribs as well and everything. Yeah.
The guy got nothing for it.
This was 30 years
Yeah,
ago.
but Domi played on.
Yeah,
But that was the caliber of men back then.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's
that's
different
what I'm
game
getting
now.
at.
It's different game, man.
We're at a different time.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's a
If you
different
wanna
game
go
now.
If you want to go back 50 years before that, blacks weren't even allowed on a sporting field at all.
I don't have a comment available for this.
I choose not to answer.
You can't compare what happened 30 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
All right, as in, but like Lee Matthews, did you see the
with Neville Bruns.
Yeah,
Against the Geelong.
Did you see what they said? Yeah, did you see what they said? What he said about it? Not Lee.
Neville Bruns. Yeah,
they said to him that another couple mil up higher,
he'd be dead, man.
and he would be dead. Dead.
Legit, like he said.
If that was to happen,
It's
yeah,
sport.
of course.
You're forgetting one thing, man. It's sport. It's a sporting arena. It's not. They're not MMA fighters.
No, that's
it's
right.
not UFC. It's not a boxing ring. It's not taekwondo. They're playing AFL footy.
That's true, but it is a contact sport.
Yeah.
Yes, if it's in the play.
If it's in the play.
I thought the whole game was in the play. Like, even when you're on the play.
Hang on. Look at it this way, okay?
That cricketer that died, all right?
Yeah, Phil Hughes.
Yeah. No, he died. Now, that was an accident.
In play.
Yeah,
In play.
It was a tragedy, yeah.
Yeah, of course it was.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't expect anything to happen to that guy, like the
because
guy
it
that
wasn't with
I know,
intent.
exactly.
Yeah, this was in full intent, man.
What happened to Phil Hughes was an unfortunate accident. Legit, like that was.
that was.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate accident.
And hit him just on that spot in the head.
Yeah, and that was an unfortunate
it's-
accident in a contact sport, right? Like it's a contact sport. Like,
This guy aimed and broke his jaw.
This guy turned around to a guy that was jogging towards him and literally just let swing when the other guy wasn't even paying attention.
You know what's funny?
That's assault.
Do you know the week before they were playing golf together?
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Maybe something was said, and he's like, I'm going to get you, cunt.
No, but what do you call it? Surprisingly, on I don't watch it often, but Studio 10 they had it on there. They were addressing it, and
What was their take?
surprisingly, the one person I thought they were going to criminal charge because they're saying criminal charges should be laid.
Yeah.
And I was saying, well, it's not a parking lot fight. It's, in a controlled, kind of controlled environment, whatever.
Yeah.
And I had one of the women on there. She's on a radio station.
Which one? Because they've gone away with all the hosts.
I don't know their names. She's a new one, and she's on...
Do you remember Jessica Rowe?
No, she's gone.
Is it the panel? Not the panel. What's it called? The one that's on at night on 10?
Project?
The Project. I always call it the panel.
Ah.
Kira Dickmore?
Nah, she's on radio. She's a bit...
what's her name?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
She's got, I think, pink hair.
Yeah.
Straighten it out.
She's got that fucking name. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and she made a good point where she goes, I've actually forgotten now.
You forgot a point.
Yeah.
You remembered everything but a point.
Yeah.
Let's
come back to that.
Yeah, no. Dude, you know what? It shouldn't be tried. It should not be tried as a criminal charge, right?
I remember now. Yeah, go.
I was going to say, Mesh, is that her name?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know her name.
Yeah.
She was saying,
She got ridiculed a few months ago for taking her kids into Maccas.
What?
Because she's a bigger girl. They're like, why are you feeding your kids Maccas? Oh, man. It was just a whole other story.
You can't take your kids to Macca's.
I'll get back to it, man.
All right, we'll come back to it.
Yeah. I was going to find her name. I'll find her name. I'll find her name.
that's with Zed or...
No. It's Ash something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And she said, what we're seeing is 2 seconds of the whole incident, which is context. The point is, these are footy players, and the point of a defender or whatever the guy you're marking on is to basically bust their balls for the whole game. Now, this kid must have done a pretty good job for him to actually take a swing like that. She was saying pretty much their job is to, when you're marking a player, is to annoy the player, put him off his game, get under his skin.
I agree, and that's why you have sledging, and that's why you have everything else. Do me a favour, dickhead, all right? Because I've played sports with you, my entire life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And we've played video games our entire lives.
Yeah.
Don't make me out to be like the liberal hippie here, where I'm so anti-violence, it's beyond, compare, and you're like the man's man. They piss me off. Because I'm not defending, I'm not saying, he's making it out like I want the game to be, badminton or something. Let's strip away tackling, let's strip away marks, no more kicking the ball, we're just going to hand pass. Don't even start, because you're pissing me off.
You saw through my plan, eh? See?
Shit. Just to give me the shits. This is what he's doing.
No.
Look.
I think they're making it out to be a bigger deal than it is. It's unfortunate he broke his jaw. If he didn't break it, would it still be as big of a deal?
This is the point, okay? Mm-hmm. Freaking Barry Hall got 6 weeks for that punch on Staker, yeah?
That was a decent hit, man.
And that was, dude, Staker's eyes were shut before he hit the ground. That was just
full-on season.
Michelle Laurie.
Michelle Laurie, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
But Mesh, that's how her name's spelled, yeah.
Dude,
Barry.
Everyone remembers that
Cunt's
punch.
fucked.
That was a great punch.
Dude, what are they called? GIFs? Dude, I had that on repeat. Just that point of impact when his head went back. Gold,
We're
man.
laughing about it now. The guy could have died. All right?
Legit, yeah.
The guy could have died, but we're laughing.
Actually ruined his career.
It did.
Because after that,
no, he was broken.
Yeah, I think he came back for another year or two, and he's like, you know what? I'm done. Now he's just an assistant coach. It ruined him. This kid's an 18-year-old kid. Psychologically, you don't know what it could do to him.
This is a thing, yeah? Barry. Okay?
Do you remember when Doomy stepped on that kid's head?
Yeah, I remember that.
And then he ended up coaching him.
See, that's Australian irony.
He stepped on his head.
It's Doomy!
You're a wanker because you're Dermy. No, so that's the thing. Barry Hall got 6 weeks, and that was like a blind punch, as in he's just turned around and thrown.
He could have hit him in the arm, could have hit him anywhere.
That was a blind punch where he just turned around and let swing, yeah? This guy literally ran up to him, sized him up, and swung.
No, he didn't run up to him. He's holding on to him, like from behind. If you look at the footage, he's holding on to him, and he's had enough. You can tell he's had enough of it, and he goes for the swing. Now, it's unfortunate, like I said, it's unfortunate he broke his jaw. But what are you going to do?
He was on the ground like a pile of rubble, man.
Dude, the guy had a broken jaw and
Running off, blood everywhere. Just, it was fucked up.
That's going to set
It was
him back
fucked up.
a while. He's going to be on liquid diet for the next month and a half, man.
Yeah.
Okay, listen.
Let's hope he comes
You
away
can't-
from this learning from his mistake.
What mistake?
Not to piss off his opponent that bad.
You're an idiot. If you were playing indoor soccer, alright, think about it like this. If you were playing indoor soccer
Yeah.
and a guy turned around and cracked you one,
Yeah.
just like that, and floored you to the point where you had a broken jaw, what would you do?
Or him back. Or you expect
Nah.
your teammates to jump in.
No, it was surprisingly, I'm like, this is like serious. Like whenever I've played indoor, I'm the one that's always trying not to start fights. I'm the one that always breaks it
you're
all
that
up.
guy.
He comes here and
Oh,
tries.
you're that guy.
No, look, man. Look, I go there to, like, if I
play.
play
You
indoor,
wanna go
I
there to
to
play.
I don't go there to start fights. I want to go start fights. I'm going to go into the city or go.
Just like, you want
bang
to
it on
fight?
friend-
Go,
Yeah, exactly.
go do UFC, go do MMA,
Exactly.
whatever.
I'm going there to have a game with
But
mates.
you can't sit here and say this, but then defend a guy that swung at another guy in the field.
Because he's an athlete, that's his job.
No, it's not his job.
No,
It's
his
not.
job. No, his job.
His
well,
job
he has
isn't-
to
his
expect
job-
anything that entails within that job.
His job isn't to sit there and take a beating from a guy. Just
But he didn't
because-
sit there.
He didn't swing back. He wasn't.
Well, he didn't have a chance because he's got a glass jaw.
No.
He's got a glass
I'll tell you
jaw.
what. Listen, I'll tell you what. If that kid and Gaffin, what's the other guy's name?
Brayshaw.
Brayshaw. Yeah.
Brayshaw.
If they literally turned to each other and it became like a
one-on-
shove,
and one-on-one.
and then they started punching on, I wouldn't have a problem with it because they both entered into the
Just like ice hockey.
yeah,
Just the way they do it in
Well,
ice
they
hockey.
Get, they get minutes for instigating, then
Yeah.
they get minutes for fighting.
But then the ref leaves it. The umpire leaves it. He's like, you know what? All right, fist it out.
Yeah.
And once the umpires have seen enough, they're like, all right, boys,
That's
bring it
enough.
up.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying, right? That's the thing. If there was a square fight, I wouldn't care. But that is a king hit the same way that dickhead in Frankston the other week king hit that other guy, man, and did the same thing, knocked his teeth out.
Yeah.
How come that guy's going to jail? Now, this is the difference, right? I don't think that he should have criminal charges laid on him, right? Because it was sporting and blah, blah, blah. But the fact that he allowed himself to turn around and king hit a guy, doesn't matter that he's 18, he just king hit his opponent out of pure disrespect. That's not on. I think 8 weeks isn't substantial because, and that also brings up the argument about the red card.
Yeah.
Yeah, they shouldn't have that.
I don't think there should be a red card.
No.
But criminal charges, because if you look at lower leagues, just like local footy and
that's
stuff like
the other
that,
thing I was going to discuss. Yeah,
they actually get charged with assault. If anything like this happens, it becomes a police matter
Yeah.
because it's still assault.
But would that be because they're not professional?
Doesn't matter.
no, they're
league?
still professional, man. They're
Nah,
registered football players in
Yeah,
clubs.
but that's considered like semi-professional. Like,
Yeah, but you're still
amateur,
registered
semi-amateur.
semi-pro.
No, it is, that's what it is. Yeah.
But you're still registered under the football guidelines of AFL.
It's a sport. That's the point. It's a sport.
Yeah.
It's a competition. Yeah, it gets heated. Yeah, you're going to get narky. You're going to crack the shits. You're going to tussle.
Jumper punches. Yeah, all that kind of shit.
Man, I've played indoor my entire life, man, and I'm the same guy. I'm the same man. I avoid getting into fights, but we go as long up until someone actually gets chopped.
Yeah.
Like once someone drops, like because we leave it that long, but as soon as like say I see my mate Jose go down.
Yeah.
He'll get up and just walk right up to him and start chesting him, saying, "What cunt? Throw one."
Yeah.
And as soon as I say, they go, "What happened?" And I'm like, "Man, this guy's been chopping me all day. That one hurt." He'll get up and we'll all get involved. That's the difference, man. It's a sport, man. Would you teach your son to throw punches
Not on the footy field.
uninstigated or
No.
even just like outright, not even defending yourself?
No. Just to start something. No, ever. Never.
That's what
No,
I'm
not
saying.
to
dude.
start something,
It's not
no.
like he was defending himself and broke the guy's jaw.
But this is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say we're only seeing that 5 seconds of him hitting him. Now, has anybody sat down and watched the entire match
Yeah, they would have, because they would have
to see how
With the
much he
tribunal
would?
thing,
Yeah,
Absolutely,
maybe-
absolutely. They would have had the lead up.
Yeah,
And
so,
what happened?
because they've got cameras everywhere. Now, how do we know that they gave him 8 because of what he's already done during the match leading up to that? Does that make sense? Like, if they,
I think
as in saying he was provoked that far.
that's what merits that 8 weeks.
if you look at the AFL guidelines,
No, but so
if you look at section 42.8 of the AFL guidelines, they say obviously the person that retaliates cops the worst.
yeah, of course. So what
And
I'm
you're
saying
dumb enough to
is-
get caught,
Yeah,
and
well,
you're
going to get caught.
you're
Everyone
gonna
can
get
see you do
caught,
it.
yeah.
So what I'm saying is, like, if he had done it unprovoked, how do we know it wouldn't have been 15 weeks?
I just doesn't
They've
matter.
they've got context.
Dude, but-
they can see. They've got, like, how many cameras?
But can I just tell you something? If I've played footy not professionally or just for Clayton, whatever.
Yeah.
How many times you get provoked?
Dude,
Like, you can't use that as an excuse because then we'd have no footballers left.
we'd have people,
no
walking
people
around
playing sport.
brawling
But that's what I'm.
24/7.
Yeah. So then, like, now let's say if
He provoked me. All right, you have to break his jaw.
let's say like if we start applying criminal charges to players because they've hit a player. Now, every player who goes in for a hip and shoulder
Yeah. is
is going to hesitate because, well, this could come out bad because I could hit him in the wrong spot.
That's in the play, though. So if you've gone to ship it off the ball, or like, now this was legit 100 metres away. Think about a 100-metre sprint.
Yeah.
Yeah? And see, think about how far that is, considering it's just the track. Then you put that on a footy field. That's quite a distance, man.
Why?
Why?
Soon he'll grab the Mac. Is it because I'm going to
Smash it over your head.
Why? Do you know why I have this Mac?
Why's that?
Because okay, look this way, alright? I give Apple more shit than anyone on the planet.
Absolutely.
Alright,
I'm witness.
dude, I've had computers since whenever. I've built my own.
You don't have iPhones, you don't have anything. Like,
I was
really.
I was in a friggin' media company, and out of 7 people, I was the only one that worked off PC stuff. Everyone used to criticize me, everyone used to bag me, blah, 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 and I used to say, yeah, well, 100% of the audio work is coming from this friggin' PC. But I'll give them one thing. Their software, their hardware is stable. Yeah? I don't use the Mac for anything other than to record, because, it's almost bulletproof. It'll crash, but it's less likely to crash than PC stuff over long periods of time. And that's, dude, every recording studio I've ever been to has always used a record. Maybe not to edit, but to record they have.
Yeah.
So don't fucking start. You've been saying it all.
I'm joshing you.
I'm joshing.
Joshing.
I'm just
You've been
joshing.
saying it all fucking day.
I've said it 3 times all day.
We've been sitting at 20 minutes, and that's
All
what
right,
I've heard.
so now I know how many times I can push it to the limit.
Once every 7 minutes. Is it because it's a Mac?
Is it because it's up?
I hate Macs. Look, I haven't covered the friggin' logo up, man, with a sticker. I didn't want to see it.
So why are you using it then?
Because I have to. Shut up, man.
And get back to the hip and shoulder.
Alright, your hip and shoulder.
So that's in the play, right?
Yeah.
And if you choose to bump, now the rule is if you choose to bump and the opponent's head is there, and you hit him in the head, you're liable. Like, you're going to cop it. You're going to get 3-4 weeks, whatever it is, depending on the damage. Concussion comes into it as well. But this was 100 metres off the ball, and literally, I know he was niggling. Could have been niggling, like you're saying. Instigate, But at the end of the day, the facts are there that he dropped him. He dropped him. Dude, the guy felt like rubble, man.
Yeah,
like nothing.
I know.
Broke his jaw and dislodged 4 of his teeth.
I'm sorry, did you see the AFL, the actual headline?
I came up on my phone.
It said, breaking news,
Yeah.
Tribunal hits gaff with huge ban.
Yeah, I thought
Zing.
I was... But you know what? Huge ban. I was thinking 12, 13 weeks. Came up with 8. I'm like, 8. Okay, Barry Hall got 6.
That's my point.
Yeah.
My whole point was the fact that the guy kept playing as well. That's the other thing, man.
Oh, did he?
Dude,
Brayshaw kept playing.
Yeah, Brayshaw kept playing.
After a little while.
Yeah. He should have been taken off. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for
Even
sure.
just to avoid further instigating from anyone else. Because if that was my teammate, I would have been this guy.
But have you seen, did you see the Fremantle players trying to go for gaff later? They actually injured him.
they?
Yeah. Michael Johnson is retiring this year.
I know,
He couldn't give a fuck, man. He was trying to take his head off. Like, every time Gaff was going for the ball, Johnson was going in with the hit, man. He's trying to knock him down.
Right? That was the dumbest thing he could have done. Let him play, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Now, the red card rule, I think there needs to be some form of penalty in a game, because the truth of the matter is that 18-year-old got knocked out, and let's not call him an 18-year-old, let's just say
A footy player.
that footy player got knocked out, could no longer participate in the game. What was the immediate effect on the game for the rest of the quarters? Imagine if that happened in the first 10 minutes.
Of a grand final.
Exactly.
Of a grand
what
final.
happened?
It's happened.
Yeah,
Stuff like that has happened.
And imagine Gaff wasn't an 18-year-old kid. Imagine if it was, Dusty Martin or something. Yeah? Richmond are going into the grand final. Their best player gets cleaned up in the first 5 minutes.
Fucking uproar, man.
Blatantly cleaned
Well,
up.
you kind of go after him in the grand final.
Yeah,
I go
yeah,
after him because I want
That's
to put him
my
out of the
point.
game.
And
yeah.
it wasn't, and remember, it wasn't an accident. Like, they weren't all going up for a pack mark and the guy landed on his neck.
Yeah.
It was literally a blatant foul. And what happened? Oh, he's reported. He'll be reported. It won't matter until next season.
All right, boys, break it up. He's been reported. He's been reported.
They think that's enough. Nah, man. Like, dude, in soccer, like, they overdo the diving and the acting. But at the same time, if something happens, you can appeal to the ref and say, this is a joke.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
do something about it. And the ref will pull a card out.
But with the umpires in there, settle down, boys.
Calm down, George.
You don't want to cop fines, boys.
That's it. Yeah, they threaten it with
Fines. Like, these guys don't give a fuck about a $2,000 fine. The club will pay it.
Yeah. It's like, what, 200,000 for the year? Yeah, no worries, man. To take it off my petty change out of my locker. No,
Let me
honestly.
write you a check on the field. Just writing checks.
I haven't got a problem with like what he's copped or anything like that. My problem is now all these people that like probably don't even watch anything.
Yeah,
they're the ones up in arms. Oh, criminal charges, red cards, all this stuff. Go back into your knitting circle or go back to your
you're right. That's
your
exactly
book
what's
club
happening.
or go back to your
People that
badminton
have
club,
no
whatever.
idea
Yeah,
about
exactly.
AFL or anything are putting their 2 cents worth.
That's what's like.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be a criminal charge, even because the comparison is if you were on but that's the comparison. If you were on the street, you would get like a year's jail because of
Damn
this,
straight.
right? So if you're on the footy field, you can't just get off with 6 weeks or 8 weeks and that's the end of it. Like, who cares?
Well, this cunt season's done because that takes it all the way up to the grand final and beyond.
Yeah, but his job
And he'll
isn't
have
in
recovery
jeopardy.
after that as well.
Yeah.
Dude, his job isn't in jeopardy. What does he care?
No, actually, he's coming up for contract talks.
Yeah.
Gav.
Yeah.
Carlton are trying to get him.
He's serious?
Let's see how he goes, how his recovery goes. It technically could affect his job because, like, it could
No, not
be.
Gaff. I'm talking about
Brayshaw.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It
The
could
young
technically
kid,
affect him because now he's had an injury there. So it might not heal properly.
Oh, yeah, no,
he might not recuperate.
but that's what I'm
The
saying.
rehab might not be good.
I think
and
the tribunal system here is too out of whack, man. You get 2 weeks for doing nothing, but then you punch a guy, you actually turn around and sock a guy in the mouth.
And can injure. Like, we're talking, this is some serious injuries. It's not like a small injury.
Yeah.
He didn't, like, damage like a cheekbone or... He broke his jaw.
Cripps last week, man. He's gone in for a tackle, half gone in for a tackle,
And the guy
half
snapped him.
half gone in for a tackle, half gone for the ball.
Yeah.
He only had one hand on the guy.
Yeah.
With the momentum, landed on top of him as they hit the ground.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that one,
That was looked at.
Yeah, it was looked at but it got thrown out straight away.
Yeah, but they actually stopped
Yeah,
to look
yeah.
at it. It's like, look at what, man? They both dove for the ball and he happened to land on
And
it.
it was actually, the commentators were saying it was a perfect tackle because he didn't get him right in the back. He had him on the side.
Yeah.
And they dropped. They both dropped. So
So how can that get a look, as in with intent, but then you got another bloke that's literally it didn't even give the guy enough time to size him up.
dude, he literally
Turned
just
around,
threw a snap.
turned around,
Or was it right-handed?
No, left.
No, left.
Left.
It was,
Yeah,
it was nice.
It was all right for a
Hey,
left hand.
I'm not condoning violence, but it was
Made
it was
solid
clean
connection.
hit.
It was,
Man, seriously,
yeah.
if you wanted to hit someone, that was the hit.
But that's the thing, man. It's like UFC. If
No.
it was UFC, you'd be like,
Fuck
awesome.
it, man. If that was Conor Khabib and
Yeah.
one of them threw
Because
one,
you go into UFC knowing that you're in here to take each other out.
Someone's
You
gonna
don't
get fucked
on the
up.
footy field
Yeah.
thinking you're going to get punched in the head.
no,
man.
and plus, other players have a duty of care, man. Like straight up,
Yeah, yeah,
like,
of course.
Like I don't like even when I was playing footy, I knew that, you know, a very rare occurrence there'd be like a brawl or something, but I knew that I was going to be okay because I'm not going to get my ass fucking knocked out by a punch.
Yeah.
Rarely happens.
You get the push and shove.
Yeah,
you know
you
what
get
I mean?
all that
You get
kind of
those
stuff that
occasional
niggles.
body. You get those body
Yeah, like in the ribs,
Yeah.
like if you're
Yeah.
if you're in like go for the bounce and the
Yeah,
guy's
they
on you,
just
just give him a
jostling and all
small
that,
jab.
those quick hits.
You know,
Yeah,
you give
yeah.
him something.
How's your father?
Yeah, it's a little has your father in
That's
the
what how do you
ribs.
do.
You know, but you don't go out on the footy field expecting to be knocked out with a punch.
No,
or
but
broken
nobody
jaw.
expects to go out there to get knocked out.
And
But
this is
then-
a rarity, though. This is
exactly.
a rarity.
And this is what I was going to ask. Now, how many of these type of hits have you seen this season?
I only see one or two a
Well,
year.
Thomas Bugg did the same thing for Melbourne. I don't know who he hit. I think he got 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay.
But he didn't cause much injury.
Yeah. Now, I get, like, if the injury...
Yeah, they have to take that into account.
Like, last year, how many of these type of hits? The year before, how many of these type of hits?
Very
like,
rare, it's rare.
How many of these types of hits do we need? If it's just 2 a year, do we need to readdress an entire, not rule book, but...
Well, depending on the
Like,
injuries,
what's
like this is
happening
severe.
every game?
This injury is severe, man. Like,
Yeah.
this is like
It's not life-threatening.
it's not life threatening, but it's still severe. Like
Okay,
the kid,
but do you know what that's like, dude?
the kid's gonna be eating gravy for Christmas. You know what I mean?
We had one mass shooting in '96.
Yeah.
We hadn't had a mass shooting before that for
And look at the reaction.
since Hoddle Street.
Yeah.
But it's a mass shooting.
Yeah, all right. But
That's comparing potatoes and bananas.
no, but then you could say, well, how many mass shootings do we actually need before we change the laws? Or how many 18-year-old kids need to be hospitalised with broken jaws before we change the laws?
Oh, what type of...
And it's not federal law.
Look, if it was...
It's literally how they handle a sporting situation.
If it was happening, let's say there's been 2 this year. Let's say if there was probably another, I don't know, 4 or 5
incidences,
then I think they should look at something. But it's not something that common that has to be...
Yeah, but what's happening now is they're looking at that and it's hurting the brand. They don't give a fuck about the players, dude.
Yeah, of course not.
They felt like, yeah, this is ridiculous. They shouldn't be happy in a footy field. They're sitting in the office saying, fuck, our juniors are going, and their parents are going to see this shit and say, I'm not going to let my kid play football
That's
anymore.
what Sam Newman said like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I still remember watching it on the footy show. Sam Newman came out. There was some big incident, like someone got hit or someone got tackled, or something. And he came out and he said, it's not up to the players or the umps, it's up to the actual board to look at the game and actually make some clear-cut decisions on like the hip and shoulder. It was when the hip and shoulder first came in,
because players were dropping their heads.
Yeah, people were ducking and getting cleaned up. And
So
he said... The AFL has an agenda, and the agenda is to make this game as soft as possible because now they're competing against basketball and they're competing against soccer.
And that's getting...
They don't want to lose ground to
No way.
the A-League.
But that's where they're stuffing
Hey, you know
up.
what? Basketball's coming back in a big way, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, that's where they're stuffing up because people don't watch footy to see people dancing around each other to get the ball away. It's I'm not saying people want to see a brawl.
Yeah.
But it's a contact sport. People know it is a contact
Oh,
sport.
we love a brawl here and there.
People want to see a brawl.
Yeah, no, but
Don't. People want
Mate,
people want to see a brawl.
Mate,
all right?
when a brawl starts, like, come on! Fucking take his head off!
Work the liver.
just softening him up.
Yeah,
But people
Yeah.
it's the same thing that's been happening in America with the NFL. Like the same
I don't
viewership.
know. I don't watch-
Viewership is at an all-time low because they're making changes with the rules that the people who watch it don't like, so they're just not watching it anymore. So if they're going to start, even if it's for not so much safety, but because we don't want to hurt our brand. Your brand's important, but your brand means squat if nobody's watching it or getting involved in it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So, if they affect it, they can make all the changes they want. They can bring whatever they in. But at the end of the day, if you don't like, if you don't like what you're watching and you don't like seeing,
Well, we go for Carlton, so don't even put us in this. Say Hawthorn.
yeah, well, no, but
Carlton's
not even Hawthorn.
unwatchable.
No, I'm not saying as a fan of Carlton. I'm saying as a fan of footy.
Footy, yeah.
If you start seeing rules that you don't like,
Of course, you'd be like, what the fuck is
why
this?
am I watching this?
Yeah,
It's a joke now.
Yeah.
What's the point of watching it if it's
Well,
not
actually,
even
it's coming to that now because they're saying all these rule changes are going to happen.
You remember? Yeah, sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, and people are saying, well, this is ridiculous. Why would I watch it anymore?
Yeah.
Should I watch soccer or basketball? They were saying it.
Do you remember when, was it the 08 grand final, alright? It was when Hawthorn beat Geelong. And they won it
Because when Hodge won the...
Franklin was young as fuck.
Yeah.
Who won the... What's the other award you win in the final?
Best on ground.
No. Yeah, the best on ground.
Best on ground. That's Norm Smith.
Norm Smith. Who won the Norm Smith? Was it Hodge?
No, I think it was, I think it was Stewie Jew, I think.
Yes, it was. Pretty sure. Gold Coast coach.
Was it Stuart Jew?
I think so.
I'll have a look.
Or it could have been, what's his name? The one they just retired? Rioli.
Nah.
Because
No, you're right.
It was Hodge.
Fucking Hodge.
Mate!
Now, Hawthorn won that final.
Talking to the mic, man.
Hawthorn. I'm going to move more to the right so I can talk to the left.
I don't care. Just talking to the fucking mic.
So they won that grand final because they played smart and they rushed every ball behind.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
when they started it. Yeah.
Geelong had 30 behinds, which was unheard of.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because of that, Geelong cracked it. Fans were Geelong fans. And so because of that, they played smart, they played strategic. The next year, the AFL brought a rule in where if you rush the ball behind, it's a free kick to the other team.
Yeah.
Now, people couldn't stand that rule, and that lasted 1 year. That's just a non-contact rule for just one minute little bit of the game. People couldn't stand it. It didn't last 1 year, and that's it.
Okay, but do you know what, man? All right.
And that's what I'm saying about one little thing. Now, if they start making bigger changes to other aspects of the game where it impacts it even larger, people aren't going to stand
Look
for
at
that.
it
They'll
this
just
way.
stop watching.
Okay. So what you're saying is they're not allowed to change rules.
They can they can change rules, but they've got to do it so that the game, the actual the
essence of the game
doesn't
change.
isn't affected.
Yeah.
So then it's basically like tag footy.
Okay.
That's what
This is
probably
the
the.
We just don't want people getting knocked out with a big
Yeah,
old
that's
broken.
the
That's
thing.
it.
This is the thing.
But that's to be not that it's to be expected.
If you want to
but
talk about,
you expect
all right,
it.
if you want to talk about rule changes
You don't
through
expect
games,
them.
yeah, let's bring up Dermy again, yeah.
Yeah.
Warwick Kappa. Look at Warwick Kappa. He was a gun in the 80s, right?
What a loose
What was
man.
that final?
What a unit.
I can't remember which game it was, but he had experimented with some speedish sort of pills.
Oh, yeah,
The guy
yeah.
was standing on people's heads.
Yeah. He's taking he took 4 marks of the year on that day.
I'm serious, man.
Just that day.
You look at that, yeah?
Yeah.
That was before they started screening for drugs properly, right? So what are you saying? That now, was that a bad rule to implement?
Like
The
drugs.
essence of the game changed. No one could use experimental
Copper was
anabolic
popping
steroids.
speed pills.
Well, to be honest, no.
No.
Well, look, I think that is putting players on different levels. That is you're actually modifying the player. Well, that's the same thing that happened with Essendon. Players, they know. What they say? Knowingly or unknowingly, whatever, they took what were they called? What are they called?
Peptides.
They took that.
AAD, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, so they were physically, basically East Germans.
Let me just tell you something.
East Germans. They were East Germans. Let
me tell you something about Essendon, right? I don't buy into this bullshit
that they didn't know.
know.
Oh, of course not.
I'm
They
not going to
knew.
let someone jab me with something that I don't know what's in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course not.
Whether
Of course not.
whatever it is.
What's his name?
Purdy.
Nah.
Purdy was jabbing himself.
The captain. What's his name?
What,
The captain.
Joe Watson?
Yeah, he knew. He said it on.
The guy was at home watching fucking Family Guy and shooting up.
He was the one. That's how they found out about it, because he brought it up when they were interviewing him on the footy
And
panel.
they're like,
or
what do you
whatever.
mean?
And they're like, what's this? Yeah,
What?
exactly.
And he's like, well, I don't
He
think
looked
there's
so
anything wrong.
stoned during that episode.
yeah, seriously,
Okay, this is not okay.
that's performance enhancing. That's completely different.
This is what I'm going to say. Okay,
Unless everybody's on drugs.
rules
Every player
are
can
there
take
to
them.
change.
It's different.
Okay, rules are there to
What a
be
game.
changed, and you never know what's going to change the essence of the game until you bring the rule in and test it out.
Yeah, you can test
Right?
it out.
Look at it this way, like basketball, yeah? Have you ever watched the basketball from the 40s and 50s? Do you ever see it?
All I've got is the Harlem Clap kind of music in my head. The whistling. The whistling. And doing the little... The fade.
If you watch basketball in its first couple decades, right? I can't remember how quickly they changed the rule, but the shot clock was only introduced after so many years. Look it up if you want. I used to know this fact off the top of my head. The shot clock was never part of the initial rules.
Yeah.
You look
People
at these
just time
teams
waste.
from the 50s and 40s, yeah? They're all white. There's no black guys playing.
Yeah.
And it literally looks like your local 109, the country club. It's insane. But you've got one point guard or one shooting guard dribbling the entire court. For 20 minutes.
Well, I get that. That's that was a change for the better.
In the 53-54 season, it got introduced.
53-54. When was it? When was the game actually created?
Oh, look. When was basketball invented? 1891.
1891.
By Dr. James Naismith. Canadian?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Wow.
Canadian. Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's it.
Their shorts are up to their chest. Socks are up to their thighs.
Right, no, hang on. My point was they
Visual.
went 60 years of playing basketball before the shot clock was introduced.
Yeah.
Before that, they went through waves and waves of seasons of clever shooting guards just dribbling the entire night away.
Spinning on his finger, doing tricks.
Literally.
He's spinning the ball on his finger.
There's a freaking ladder. That game was fixed.
Look, that was a change for the better. Obviously.
That took 60 years to get to, all right? And they put it in, And all of a sudden they've introduced a rule where it's like after 30 seconds or before contact if you haven't made contact with the ball, you need to get rid of it. And people will be up in arms. Like, why? Why do I only have 30 seconds? That changes the entire dynamic of the game. But it changed for the better.
Yeah.
Look, that rush behind shit, yeah? Tactical approach, right? As in, hey, let's slow them down. Screw it. Rather than risk them having to kick a goal, let's give them a point and then just send it back the other way.
Especially if you're up by like 50 points.
Yeah.
Gives a fuck.
That's never been seen before,
yeah.
yeah? And people hated it, right? Because
that match was a close one, though.
But who before that had ever used that tactic?
Nobody.
Exactly. In 95, when Carlton won the flag because they introduced a style of game that had never been seen before. The running game.
The good old days.
Yeah. Dude, we had Diesel Williams on the Carlton squad, the best handball of all time.
Mate, that guy was
He had the strongest, most direct handball, and we introduced the running game. After that, everyone did it.
Can you get...
He was one of the most suspended players.
because he touched the umpire.
and he just touched the ref.
All he did was, actually, I saw him on Talking Footy. With Mike open mic. I listened to the interview with Greg Williams. And he's like, the reason why he goes, I didn't actually push him. It wasn't actually a two-handed push. He kind of did it with his hand, and he moved him. What the guy said was, not this other guy, he goes, the umpire shouldn't have touched Williams first. He grabbed him, and then Williams grabbed him and pushed him away. Like, what the fuck are you touching me for? So, yeah, it's a whole different kettle of fish.
I'm not saying rules can't be changed, but you've got to make rules that. If you're going to change them, you're going to change them that are going to be for the better.
Yeah, okay, but you don't know that until you've done it, dude.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So they can put their rules through people, but then they've got to see how it goes. They've got to see how people are going to react to them.
But it's like,
now,
sorry, man, but they started saying how they want to introduce
the super goal.
No. This season, before the season,
can't get pumped by 200 points a week. You've got no one that kicked 50.
No one anymore. Remember the days when we had
we can't kick from 20.
Yeah.
Imagine from 50. Imagine a team like Richmond or Hawthorn.
Yeah.
Or Sydney with Buddy.
Buddy just.
Man, we would lose. No shit, we would lose.
70K's out.
Dude, we can't kick 100. We haven't kicked 100 points since 2016, right?
No, yeah.
Now, could you imagine they bring in a super goal? Right, we would lose by 200 plus a week.
Yeah.
There's no. I'm telling you, man.
Imagine Jed Lamb trying to tackle Buddy. This little kid just wrapped around his legs.
Kid just shakes him off.
Yeah. No, dude. The whole point, they were talking about introducing some new set of rules to test out before the end of the season.
The zoning.
Is it the zoning?
Yeah, so at every centre bounce, after a goal, at the centre bounce, there will be 6 players in the forward line, 6 in the midfield, 6 in the back. And they have to line up in that zone. Just in that, because...
Just on the whistle.
Yeah, so there's no congestion. Do you know what I mean? So that ball will come out of the midfield easier. Yeah. There's not 100 cunts running into the middle. That's what Sydney love to do.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of coaches have implemented that already without the AFL. they've been testing it out.
And
Sydney have been losing the past few weeks. Have you noticed this?
I haven't.
They have lost the last 4 out of 5 games.
Have they?
There you go.
There's no congestion.
I've given up.
Don't get me started on Sydney, though.
I don't like Sydney. Yeah.
Okay, so hang on.
Hold on, sorry.
No, go.
Have I disconnected there? Has it reset it?
Reset what?
Because I locked it.
Just keep doing what you're doing, man.
I'm just...
Shake harder, boy!
Shake harder. I'm just being considerate.
That picture.
How good is it? Do you know how long it took me to find that? I had to go through actual episodes.
There's a site. It's called Frinkle something.
Yeah. I did.
Frink something.
When you see them pasting the tape. Oh, sorry.
I think it was... I can't remember who got me onto it, man. There's a site called Frink... something.
Yeah.
It's a Simpsons. Basically, any quote, any part of someone has gone through and literally taken screenshots of every episode with every quote. So any quote you ever want, you'll find it in Frink something.
Done.
It's named after Professor Frink. You know, Jerry Wilson. Yeah. Leave me back. Quit stalling. What's the plan? All right. That zoning thing, yeah. So that would literally happen if there was a goal when you come back. So, as the rules stand now, no one has to... You could just literally rush the ball back to the middle.
Yeah, you've got, at a centre bounce, you've got the 2 ruckmen, and then you've got your wingers, and your centre-half forwards and centre-half backs and whatever. And they're the only opponents that can run into the square at that time.
Yeah.
But that doesn't stop you from putting every other cunt around that circle.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can put your half-forward flankers, your half-back flanks.
You can line everyone up at the middle.
You could do whatever you wanted.
And that's been Sydney's trademark.
Yeah.
So it'd be like netball. Isn't netball where you zone up?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
So what they're saying is now, just at the centre bounces, just after a goal, there'll be Yeah, with 12, 24, 36. Yeah, so because 36 players on the field. So it'll be 12 in the forward line, 12 in the midfield, and 12 in the back. That's including all players from both teams.
Okay.
And so the 6
You got
backmen,
your
6
rucks, your
forwards.
rovers.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
So basically, you're forced to reset after everything.
That's right. So you give the midfielders a chance to get the ball out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's not everyone just jumping on it, and that's when you cut congestion, and the game becomes quicker because now they want more scoring.
Okay, this brings up 2 questions.
That I can get behind.
All right, before I bring up the zoning thing, the talk about it was to start testing it out on games with Carlton was playing.
Yeah, they wanted to do it between Carlton and Gold Coast.
They wanted to do it between Carlton because these 2 teams have got no chance to get in the finals and it won't affect anything. And everyone said...
It fucks the integrity of the game.
It screws the integrity of the game. And then you got trade, other players that are trying to get, traded or just set their own personal stats. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They start
yeah.
screwing things.
They're gonna,
I think that's ridiculous. You can't start implementing new rules halfway through the season.
They actually tried at the
of course
VFL, though.
not.
Did they?
They did. Against...
That's a whipping boy. They do whatever they want in the VFL.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, that's a joke where they're trying to bring in a new rule halfway through the season. You can't change the rules in the middle of the game. It doesn't work like that.
No.
2, the zoning thing. Do you think that's a good idea?
Yeah. I don't mind the zoning just if it's strictly just for centre bouncers, just to avoid the congestion. You know how you get frustrated, man. Imagine how many times we've gone to the footy and for fucking 5 minutes, every coach is jumping on each other. You know what I mean? So
is that just centre bouncers?
just centre bouncers.
Okay.
So
See, I like that for one reason. You look at international soccer, not basketball, but international soccer, netball, hockey.
Yep.
All these sports, they all reset after a
that's
goal.
right. They've got their starting places.
Yeah. They all reset.
Yeah, because now, so say there's 30 seconds left, a team's just kicked the goal and they're a point down and they've still got a chance to kick another goal.
Yeah.
What the other team would do is they would flood the fucking back line. The team that was up by a point would flood that fucking back line. They'd have 2 cunts in the midfield and no forwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this way, it actually gives everyone a fair start.
What do you think? I don't think...
He's a thinking man.
He's a pain in the butt. What do you think?
Oh, the butter menthol.
Yeah, every time I talk, it rattles on the teeth. There's no rule for flooding, is there?
No.
Do you think they should bring in a rule for flooding?
Nah, I remember when West Coast and Sydney were winning premierships in 05, 06 and all that kind of stuff. Sydney and West Coast were the masters, and football was fucking ugly, man, back then.
Yeah.
Dude, they were having... The grand final was 8 goals to 6. Do you know what I mean? And I think teams broke away from that.
Yeah.
The only time they will send everyone back, if it's a close game, you're up by a point... And, but now the whole thing is about putting a spare man defence, We'll drop him back and he'll fill a hole.
Yeah.
It's all different tactics now. It's all, I could talk about tactics for hours, dude, but...
That's what I mean. That's the point of, sports. You want tactics. You don't want everybody doing the same thing. You want every team that plays their own football, their own type of the game.
Their brand, yeah.
Their brand of footy. Yeah. So you'll have teams that just hand pass, teams that will play the long kicks, teams that will play more.
Teams that can't get the ball.
Teams that can't get the ball. Teams that purposely miss from 20 metres out.
Teams that, play opposition on Sunday and the other team happen to have only 16 players on the field, yet still scored 7 goals to 1.
That's so disgusting.
Teams that only
Carlton Football Club.
Dude, I
switched it off, dude.
I got up, dude.
I switched the last quarter. I can't do this.
Messaging this guy.
I was watching on my footy app.
I was hungover. I wasn't hungover. I just felt like shit because I've been drinking crappy alcohol all night. We got to bed at 1:45.
You got to get on the good stuff like that spiced mead.
I know. You see the pictures. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Do you know what that mead is?
Is that like a rum?
That is honey wine.
Why?
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 It warms the spirit, man.
Have a cup of tea.
Nah. This stuff is this is gold for winter.
I'm gonna give him title for no.
This man,
I
it's
remember
good stuff.
For years, me and this guy would do Friday night pizzas and drinks.
Yeah.
We usually watch the footy or play PlayStation or something for years. And then he stopped drinking booze because you were breaking out. Remember? Yeah.
I've got a skin condition that if booze contributes a lot to it and it flares it up.
Just like any booze, or just
mostly beer.
Beer because of the yeast.
Yeah,
and all that kind of shit.
And it's directly affected
the
by
wheat,
yeast.
all that kind of shit.
We stopped. We stopped drinking booze, right? It was fine. I don't care, whatever. But then, when was it? Was it Footicus?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we did Footicus earlier in the year, I rock up He's asked me what I want to drink. I'm like, no, I don't care, whatever. He's like, would you like some mead? I'm like, the hell is this? Dude, he was drinking coffee.
You know, I actually looked it up.
It's good stuff.
When you sent that, I'm
It is
like, what the
good
fuck
stuff.
is mead?
It's
I actually looked it up and it says
oldest-
not to boil it, but served hot.
Yeah, I didn't boil it.
I said it to my mum. 'Cause I spoke to my mum.
Don't worry, I got that stuff down pat,
The
man.
day after, the old lady's called me. She's like, how are you? She's like, how was your cooking thing? The food, the cookout. I'm like, yeah, it was good. I go, John was all over the mead. She's mead. I go, yeah, it's some sort of honey wine. She goes, oh, yeah, Medda. She goes, they have it in the Choryo in the village.
Apparently it's the oldest alcohol ever. Not ever, like it was the first form of alcohol ever created.
Really? I
Yeah.
thought beer was. The Egyptians.
No. Mead is the
The
first.
Jägermeister was.
Yeah, wait.
Imagine the pyramids. They just got a guy hipster serving the craft beers behind the thing.
Oh, fuck.
They got little pharaoh sarcophagus.
No,
mugs.
would you like on tap? Yes, please. Would you like the Pharaoh's gold? Or would you like the
The light.
scooter?
Pharaoh's light.
Pharaoh's scooter? That'll be 3 lashings.
You see all the guys dragging the rocks.
Yeah, imagine that ad. Try and build the pyramid for a hard earth person. It's a big cold pharaoh. And the best cold pharaoh he's light.
He's just dragging the... No,
And the guy's wiping his sweat. The guy's whipping.
the production cut for this is going to be a pharaoh behind the bar.
Yeah, man.
On the taps.
That's
No. Seriously. I obviously thought the Egyptians made beer first.
I don't know if it's Egyptians, but
I'll
mead
find
is
out.
apparently the
So what
oldest.
did you want me to
yeah.
say?
Mead.
The first...
The first alcohol beverage.
I'm pretty sure it's mead.
Mead.
Yeah.
What's it made of?
Honey.
Just honey.
Honey, like fermented honey.
Fermented honey.
It's fortified wine, so it's fortified, so it's like a port.
It's
almost like a
pharaoh
port.
in my head with a hipster beard, just serving it up at a microbrewery in Ghana. The middle of Alexandria.
Sorry, you were right.
Yeah. Earliest form, maybe?
Where would you think it was made?
It's not Egypt.
Huh?
It would
No,
be...
the Egyptians were on the beer. The Egyptians were on the beer.
Hold on.
I know that.
Persia.
I know the Egyptians made beer for the
Persia?
first time.
Persia? No.
Around that area?
The fucking Greeks, mate.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
There it says, while the art of winemaking reached the Hellenic Peninsula, the first alcoholic beverage to obtain widespread popularity in what is now Greece was mead, a fermented beverage made from honey and water.
That's mad.
It's well, you tried it. How nice is it?
No,
it's really good.
great. It's really smooth.
And so this spice one, it's got cinnamon in it. It's got cinnamon.
I love it because he's become an artisan now.
But beer is another...
He's made his return.
Well, it's saying here there was evidence
I'm
of
back, baby.
beer production that dates all the way back to the cavemen. Even the earliest Sumerian writings talk about beer. So
imagine the you know the hieroglyphics on the wall. Dude, there's a microbrewery. They hipster behind you there with a stamp on it. All you see is like the bench and a guy behind the taps and a line of guys waiting.
who's that? That's Wally.
Yeah. And then there's a dunny and a trough just standing there.
Oh my god!
Pharaoh brew, man.
I wonder what these represent.
Yeah, dude, it's just
Kind of sitting around archaeologists like,
They finally come along and on the Rosetta Stone, because the Rosetta Stone, like told them what all the hieroglyphics meant.
Dude.
That's what it was. It was like the
Hang on,
cipher.
wait a second.
And they finally get to the booze dude. It's like,
or there's an actual picture of a guy throwing someone out of a bar.
holding him
Stay out.
from the belt to the collar.
Hang on, wait a second. Do you remember Double Dragon 3? It was on Nintendo. It wasn't on Sega. You would never have played it.
No.
Yeah.
I know the game.
Dude, Double Dragon 3 was the first one that I played. I never played 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's called the Rosetta Stone.
Really?
I'm almost 100%. Hang on, I'll suss this
Maybe.
out. No, I'm serious. Wait.
The Rosetta. Oh yeah.
While you look that up. Yeah, I just found it. I don't know. Just because I'd always talked about it, like with him as a joke, like Vikings, you know.
Is it smooth? Is it like?
It's sweet.
Is it?
Yeah. It is smooth.
Can you taste the alcohol in it?
The aftertaste.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a subtle, like a little bit through it as you're drinking it.
Okay. The Rosetta Stone, is a grandiorite steel, like massive plank, inscribed with 3 versions of a decree issued at Memphis, Egypt in 196 BC during the Ptolemy dynasty on behalf of King Ptolemy V. Is he the one that's in Assassin's Creed Origins?
I know Ptolemy's in there, but I don't know if it's that one.
All my ancient Egypt history comes from Assassin's Creed. Dude, it's the best.
It's possible. I don't know.
Top and middle texts are in ancient Egyptian using hieroglyphic script and a Demotic script, respectively, while the bottom is in ancient Greek. Of course it is. Hang on. I'm looking at Double Dragon 3. Why are you kissing the flag?
Mother country, mate.
Hang on. Double Dragon 3. That's what I'm looking up. That's what it reminds me of. I'm telling you, it's got the Rosetta Stone. Dude, I'm serious. I'm not even joking. Double Dragon 3, the Rosetta Stone. The first 2 players control returning heroes Billy and Jimmy Lee, respectively.
That's some horrible names, man.
I know, man.
Do you know what the funniest part is? Yeah. This game has got a spelling mistake.
Really?
In the first title card. Like you hit press 1 or 2 to start, then literally the first screen, it says Bimmy and Jimmy. Dude, the program has missed the first freaking card, man.
We made a mistake. We can't release this. It should be fine. Send it out.
Hang on.
Okay, Bimmy.
After returning home from a 2-year training mission, Billy and Jimmy Lee come across a fortune teller. The woman tells the Lee brothers that in order to challenge the world's strongest adversary, they must seek out the 3 Rosetta Stones. What are the 3 Rosetta Stones?
For $20, I can tell you more. I didn't bring cash.
And the final destination is in Egypt, where you get into Cleopatra's tomb and blah, 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 blah.
There you go.
But it says here that there's 3. In reality, there's only 1. Or is there 3?
Liars.
I don't know.
Fucking liars.
No, there's only 1.
There's only 1. So this game lied to me.
It's a game. It's
dude. They can't spell Bimmy.
First of all, it's Double Dragon. It's a game from the early 90s.
It was late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Double Dragon 3.
I wouldn't really be...
With spelling mistakes.
With spelling mistakes.
Hang on.
I wouldn't be taking the historical accuracy to heart.
Hang on. 1990.
It's a game. It's not...
Jesus, 1990. That's when I played it? It was on Mega Drive. I had no idea.
You were about 6 years old.
I played it on Nintendo.
Yeah.
And I got my Master System in 1990, so I was like 5. And my next door neighbour would have gotten one around the same time. He got a Nintendo around the same time as I did. So yeah, I would have been 5 or 6. I can't remember it.
How much historical accuracy would you expect from a video game?
You're telling me video games have lied to me my entire life?
Ooh, how dare they? How dare they? Lies!
Well,
it depends how the game sells itself. Is like that, I wouldn't expect it to be like a history game. But you got some like Assassin's Creed, which it does have, it leans into history. Yeah. It changes.
It borrows
from it, but they'll change the lore around one character. They'll base it as much as they can on as accurate as they can, but then they'll lean into it so that it can contribute to their story, their narrative. So they'll have they did like the Assassin's Creed when they did in America. It was a American Revolution. Yeah. And George Washington, they did a story where George Washington becomes like a Templar, basically, I think. And he's supposed to be he's a Templar? I can't remember. But he basically becomes a bad guy, even though he's the president of America.
So he's Trump.
Children, it's time for your history lesson. Put on your virtual reality.
Oh, this is awesome.
Excellent. Hello, Lisa. I'm Genghis Khan. You go where I go. Defile what I defile. Eat who I eat.
Eat who I eat. That's the best. Defile who I defile.
I love how it just scrolls over. It's like, excellent. Battle, man.
Bloodshed.
Hello, Lisa.
The only game that wouldn't lie to you, Where in the World is Coming, San Diego.
Do you remember man, I want that game to come back, man.
That was awesome, dude. As a kid.
That was a top game.
As a kid, I used to love that game.
I remember playing
the simple times. Yes. They were a simple time.
I just remember...
You learned stuff. That was an educational game.
It was an educational game.
Yeah. That's like... Sorry, go.
Would you say it was educational?
Yeah, I think it was classified as an education.
It was.
Yeah, because that was part of like geography.
Travelling. You have to solve like little clues and shit like that.
Didn't you have to have the book? And then from the book you would... what's it called? Clues or some shit.
No, we had it on our computers at primary school on the green computers.
Yeah,
the old school.
I remember playing it in like grade 5 on one of those shitty computers.
Yeah.
You couldn't cheat.
Oh, we've come a long way.
I remember like you'd fuck up and then you just start flying all over the planet looking for shit.
We even had Zork. Remember Zork?
Zork.
Yeah.
Which one was Zork?
That was a text-based game, whereas like
I played a lot of text-based games, man.
it was like I think the original one or whatever. Like you're in the forest, you come across a goblin. What do you do?
And you've got it right in
Yeah, and you type it in.
Yeah,
Like that's like one of the old. Like that's
I
like
remember that.
considered like a lot of people try and yeah.
You imagine, wouldn't it be, actually, there are no games like Carmen San Diego, is there?
No, nothing.
Or even ones where
Not
you
that
just
I'm aware
fly.
of.
There are no games where you actually fly internationally.
Not really.
That would be kick ass, man. So imagine a new, like, this day
Imagine
version.
GTA.
Oh, they won't do it with GTA.
wouldn't?
They'll never do it with GTA. That game is too. That game is a satire of American culture,
Yeah, I know.
so they won't bring it
Far Cry.
international.
Far Cry.
Yeah, they could do it with Far Cry.
I mean, the last Far Cry was set in America. The other
Yeah.
ones before that were all international.
That'd be a sick game, man. We could fly, right, internationally.
Yeah.
And, like, solve.
Yeah, because you had Blade. Do you remember the original Blade Runner game? You never played
No,
it.
I never played it.
Blade Runner, the game, was the best, man.
Yeah.
It was a point-and-click, like, detective. It was like the movie, yeah, but, there was a guy, the graphics at the time were, like, incredible. It was set in, like, LA, like, futuristic, New York, with, like, a rundown Chinatown, and, like, did you hear the story of Blade Runner? Like,
I don't think I've ever seen it. Yeah, I know.
the little robots. and that sort of
Yeah,
shit.
roughly. Yeah.
All I remember was there was a Rastafarian guy in there that was like a robot, and then you had the main character who looked like the guy from The Pretender. Remember that show, The Pretender?
Yep.
Yeah, he looked exactly like that guy. I used to call him The Pretender. He was Greek. I used to say the Greek guy from Pretender, even though he wasn't Greek. I don't know. I was going to say to you, this is what I was going to bring up before, yeah? Speaking of misaligning, what's it called? Treating shit as criminal and not, la la la. Have you seen that Drake challenge that's come up?
Nah.
Okay, you probably wouldn't see it because you're not on social media, but you might have seen it maybe pop up on your face or something. That song, In My Feelings, the Drake dance challenge. You haven't seen it pop up at all?
Is that the one when they're dancing beside their car?
Yeah.
Oh. Yes.
Oh, I saw a
I've seen
gold one.
pranks.
Yeah.
I've seen a cunt drive off with it. Did you see that?
No, I saw one where he's doing it with his mate and he reverses into him.
Yeah.
And then gets in, he cracks it. And so he's like, all right. And so he starts doing it and he starts driving and he's chasing and he slams the brakes and,
he
he goes through the window.
Right? There's reports of dickheads getting out of their cars to do it.
Yeah.
And then the cars are running into people or they're getting run over by cars coming at them.
I'm sorry, but I'm not for, like... This is where I think Bill Burr's theory comes into it, where those types of people who are doing that stuff and that dumb, put them on a cruise ship, send them out to sea, just sink it and replace with a new cruise ship at the same time.
Yeah,
Just keep
so no
putting
one
them
knows
on and
what's
getting rid of
going
them.
on.
Yeah. Just keep getting rid of them.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like, come
Someone
on.
said it. Who was it? There was a comedian talking about it. It was either Seth Meyers or Jimmy Kimmel or someone from, those heads.
Yeah.
And they said back in the day, all these like planks. Do you remember planking?
Yeah.
When was planking? When did planking come in?
I think it was like, 2007?
Has it been
Maybe
10
a bit
years?
earlier.
Do you reckon planking has been
05
around for-
maybe?
Has it been 10 years?
Probably. At least.
You reckon? Are we that old?
Probably.
Because planking was really big when social media...
2009.
Okay.
Jesus!
9 years ago.
Yeah.
That long?
Yeah.
Planking, dude, is now nearly 10 years old. I remember it when it exploded and everyone was doing it and then people were dying because they were doing it over balconies.
Yeah.
Like, why? And I always looked at it like, why? But you tell me two things, yeah? One, if you... Say you got your car, yeah? And you're doing that stupid shit, and the car gets, ridden off.
Well, there was a video of a dude where he's doing it, and a car just brakes in time.
Yeah.
Still collects him.
Yeah.
But the dude goes flying into his door, and, he's just survived it.
Yeah. Could that guy press charges
Seriously.
for being hit because
Nah.
he's a pedestrian?
No, he's on the road. He shouldn't be there.
You're
He's-
fair game.
Yeah, he's exited his vehicle. If anything, he should be the one who's probably going to get
He's
like
causing
cop an
a nuisance,
infringement or
public
something.
nuisance,
Yeah, because he's in a vehicle that's not occupied, and if he was to bring it to a judge, if I was a judge, I'd laugh at him and throw him out. I'd fine him.
That's what I'm saying, dude. In this day and age, you think about planking, yeah? Everyone was doing it. Now people are literally running alongside a moving car. They've jumped out of their car to dance to a song. What's the phenomenon about that? What is the actual...
Because they're morons.
Society's fucked.
No, I'm being serious.
No, I'm being serious
What was
too.
I telling you before in a car? They're idiots.
Yeah.
little backstory on planking.
What was the official death toll?
The death
Of the planking epidemic of 09.
There was the planking massacre of 07.
He's going to be 70 talking to his grandkids. And
I survived that.
planking
epidemic
of 09. It was ridiculous.
Planking, even though it wasn't called planking back then, it was called face dancing. Right?
Whenever
It actually
moving.
was initiated in 1984 by two bored school kids. And then the first recorded,
This guy's face.
you're going to love this guy. The first recorded occurrence of planking was in 94 when Tom Green
Oh, yeah.
started it off.
Yeah.
And then, but it didn't really catch until later on.
Tom Green started planking.
Yeah.
Really?
As in, that was the first recorded,
Okay, how many other stupid things like that have come out, man?
dude.
Tide Pods.
What are the? Oh yeah, what was that? That sort of came.
That was
and went.
last year.
So what was that?
Yeah,
piss-
that
Tide
came and
Pod.
went, and I remember.
So
talk
Tide
shows
Pods
back-
are basically dishwashing.
yeah, but what were they doing?
The
Eating them.
sachets.
They were eating them.
Why?
Because they're idiots. There's no reason. There's no logic to
No,
this.
because I remember seeing that on like a Seth Meyers
Omo.
bit.
Yeah.
And talking about Tide Pods, I'm like, those are the cleaning things, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't understand.
It's what you put in your dishwasher. It's a soap.
Yeah.
It's just a brand. The brand is
Tide,
Tide,
yeah.
and it's the soap in a cube that you put with the ball in it.
Yeah.
In the little soap
Yeah, yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
And they just eat it.
Why?
I don't know.
Because they're idiots.
Because they're idiots.
No, but remember what?
Because they're morons.
Do they get high on it? Do they?
No. It was
People
just
were
like
doing that.
it was just like.
Yeah, but dude, people were doing that with like chilies and stuff. You know, when
Yeah,
they
the
were
same as a
taking
cinnamon challenge or
What was the Tide Pod challenge? Like, what was the actual point of it? As in,
to eat a Tide Pod.
just to get it
And without
down.
dying.
And then morons are rocking up to the hospital in the ERs, and doctors had to do an official public service announcement: do not eat Tide Pods, because then the stuff basically ripped through their esophagus,
Dude, your liver
destroys
and
their
kidneys,
stomach.
man.
It just basically I don't know if
It's
anyone
a chemical that cleans your plate.
Yeah. Just like that woman, I saw it on, when was it? What was the last, maybe about a month or two ago, there was this woman, this was a complete accident though, she was at a cafe, and,
Someone said a Tide Pod with a coffee. It's like on the side of a plate instead of a
just
biscuit.
there beside,
Instead
yeah.
of a biscuit.
She had hiccups, and the owner of the store goes, I'll give you some white vinegar for that.
Yeah.
Because apparently white vinegar, or apple cider vinegar, whatever,
Yeah.
helps with hiccups.
What did he give
I've
her?
never heard of that.
He accidentally gave her industrial strength floor cleaner.
Oh,
By accident.
What? They just have it next to the coffee beans and the.
Well, I think he asked the staff for it, and they gave it to him.
and the cuties first day.
She was in
panicking.
basically, as soon as she swallowed it, it just started to disintegrate her internal organs.
She died?
No, she survived, but she went through 60 operations.
fucking oath, man. Dude, that's like paint thinners, man.
Dude, caustic acid, man. I was getting dermatitis because of the caustic acids. When I used to work in that warehouse when I was a kid, and I was in industrial cleaning the joint, yeah, they said to me, the owners, fucking tight asses, man, they said to me that we need you to sanitize every bench and everything with this cleaner. I'm like, okay. So they said, yeah, just when you wash, have one of the sinks filled up with this crap and then spray it on all the benches. I'm thinking, yeah, sweet. So I'm sitting there, washing everything with my hands. Dude, one of the girls that worked in the days that I wasn't there, on one of the days we both happened to be there. I rarely saw this girl, once every blue moon when our days lined up. And then she
got
saw me
high.
doing it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
No, she saw me doing it. She goes, what are you doing? I'm like, it's the sanitizer. We're meant to be washing everything. And she goes, dude, that's caustic acid. She says, they didn't tell you that? I go, no, they just said to me that I need to dip everything in it and use it. She goes, no. She goes, they said that to me and I refused to do it. If you looked at the material safety data sheet, it literally was, you cannot, you can't come in contact with this.
Inhale
Dude, I was dipping my hands in it for a good couple months and my skin started just flaking up, man, bad.
This is not cleaner, but back in my concreting days, just 4 years with working with cement,
Yeah.
sealer, and powder, which colour powder and all that.
Oh, yeah, for the bond, yeah.
Do you remember how I used to get really, really sick after I finished that?
Yeah.
I had chronic bronchitis for 2.5 years because my body was getting rid of all the not silica, but all the powder and all that toxic crap that was in all the chemicals just from powder, the colour powder. Cement in its powdered form has silica in it.
Okay.
And the sealer, which is
Could we sue these people now? Why?
You didn't go to
Because
the
there's safety instructions on there. And I did have gas. I had the gas mask or the breather and
Yeah, but
all
that's
that.
not enough.
Yeah, I know.
What about me? Like, I was unknowingly dipping my hands in caustic acid.
Welcome to the new segment of Wogs trying to make $1.
We just air all
Did you say government car?
we air all the employment grievances here and ask for legal help. Anyone out there that's currently studying law?
Legal aid.
If you have any advice, please call us on 555.
Dude, I'm dead set. Could you press charges?
Doubt now. You'd have to find a direct link.
Exactly.
And maybe
You have to
because
go
so
through
many years have
tests and
passed.
fucking-
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been meaning to ask you a question for ages, man.
Oh, yeah?
You might be able to help because you're a baker.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
We're trying to make... What?
is that what you were telling me about that wog?
What wog?
About with the bread?
Actually, yeah, that was another thing I was going to ask.
Oh, something else. Okay.
Yeah, no. Oh, hang on. We'll bring that up because we said I was telling this guy on the drive-in. Yeah, I was at Baker's yesterday trying to buy bread, and this wog guy was there, and he asked for like a what did I say it was?
Vienna, wasn't it?
Like a Vienna,
Sourdough Vienna or something. Yeah.
And the girl said to him, "I can't get it sliced for you because it's still warm."
Yeah.
Is that true?
That's true.
Yeah.
Because what'll happen is, if it's too warm, it'll just cave in on itself because the inside is so
and then
soft.
she said it will jam the machine up.
Absolutely, it'll fuck up
that's
the machine.
true.
That's true.
She was trying
There
to
you
tell
go.
him this.
You've got a certain time where you can do it. Like, it can still be warm, but it has to be more on the cold side. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It can't just be warm and cut
She
it.
kept saying it.
Because if it's warm bread and it's soft, and when you cut it, you know how it dips into itself?
Yeah.
Imagine the machine, it would just crush into the machine.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, she kept saying it, right? And he wouldn't buy it. He's like, I've been buying this for 7 years or something, la la la.
What do you think they know, man?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. And she just kept saying it. She goes, yeah, that's fine, but I can't cut it for you. Like, what part
Yeah.
of that? And he just kept arguing, and he was looking around at everyone like, oh, you know. And I was just-
That's true. You can't cut it.
There was that. What was the other
There
thing?
you go.
that he
Bullshit.
wanted? Oh, the free
Myth
bread.
busted. There you go.
Yeah, the free bread. He cracked it because, you know, he's got the get the loaf for free.
Yeah.
He's bought like one, and then he's bought like another ciabatta or whatever.
Yeah.
And he wanted the more expensive one for free.
Doesn't work like that.
And she was trying to tell him.
There's a maximum spend. So that entitles you to like a white loaf or a wholemeal loaf, just a standard block.
And they said it'll be this much.
Yeah.
The cheaper one is the one you get for free, and you
Yeah,
owe or
absolutely.
whatever. And he wouldn't buy it either.
Fucking
He was
hell.
cracking it.
Myth busted, yeah. You
So
can't,
there was that. I wanted to ask you about that. But
Yeah.
there was another thing. I've been trying to make banana muffins for like the last month.
Yeah.
Muffins, like bread, banana
Yeah.
bread. And the damn shit in the middle is always uncooked.
Moist.
Like, like still
Raw. Like
fucking raw.
Maybe you're not using the right flour?
No, the flour's right. I ended up cooking it for longer, and it was
Are you putting
fine.
too much banana in there?
Initially I thought it was the banana.
Yeah. Are you mashing it up and then...
Oh, dude, I use that fucking, what's
Yeah.
it called, the wand.
Try using less banana and maybe, just maybe, I know it's cheating, but put a little bit of banana essence to enhance the missing banana in there.
Oh, the flavour.
Yeah.
What if I'm adding...
Talk to me.
What if I'm adding other shit to the mix?
Yeah.
Flavouring.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's fine?
That's fine. But
Okay, so it's
maybe
gotta be-
maybe put less bananas, if anything.
It's probably the bananas.
Yeah, and maybe don't make it as watery. If you know the pasty,
Yeah.
make it because with banana bread, anything like that, carrot cake and all that kind of shit, it's a bit more dense.
Yeah.
It's got to be like more like bread than cake. Because with cake, you can make it, you put it in your pan, whatever, and it'll rise, whatever.
Yeah.
But with that shit, you've got to make it a bit more dense.
All
so
right.
maybe add a little bit more flour, a little bit less banana, and just play with the
Yeah, this thing
consistency.
was like fucking, like the outside was getting crispy and shit, but the inside was just like runny. as-
Welcome to Next Cooking Hour. Yes. I'm your host, the baker.
Daddy the baker. Baking segment with You're a bum, so are you going to...
No, I was going to say, I've got if you want, I can give you a recipe for a good orange muffin. Orange and date muffin.
What are you doing? Dates. Ugh. Ugh.
You don't taste the dates more
Dude,
orange.
dates? Do you know what dates are?
Yeah.
Poor man's
Poor man, why are they so expensive? They're poor
I
man.
lost it at the Peter Thomas promise.
They're actually good for you.
Yeah.
Do you remember
Peter Thomas promise?
Yeah, what was that place on Chapel right next to Jam Factory? It used to be like Angelucci's or something. Was that what it was called? Angelucci's, and then
I got nothing.
And then it,
Bag dates, he's like, fuck you guys, man.
Dude, it was Angelucci's, and then it became what's the name of that cafe? It's a franchise now. They're everywhere. There's something. You know your food joints, man. Something.
I need something more than something.
Cafe something, or the something cafe. There's one in Brighton as well, on Dendy.
The Turtle Thing Cafe?
Fuck this, man. I'm Googling it. I'm serious. You get to
I don't go out.
I don't go out.
dandy. Yes, you do. You fucking eat out all the time.
What about the pantry?
No.
The Denny Deli?
Is it a cafe or what is it?
It's like
It's a restaurant?
Isn't Erie? Has it got a chef? Do they do breakfast?
They do
Literally
breakfast.
bringing up Dandy Deli, but it's not bringing up everything else that's in the area.
They've bought out all the ads. Bastards.
It was a freaking franchise, man. Lively Places.
Was or still
Oh, wait,
is?
are you talking about Groove Train?
Yes!
Oh my.
Yeah.
That's a restaurant. No, that's still around.
It's still around, but it closed down in Brighton.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
That's
I actually went to- I actually went to one last week. The one in Southland.
There's one in Fountain Gate.
Yeah. Is there one in Chatty now, I think?
I don't know.
No,
Dude, honestly, the only ones I've
in
gone
Knox.
to...
There's one in
Knox,
The
that's
only
what I'm
ones I've
thinking
gone
of.
to was Brighton and Chapel.
Well,
I'm pretty
closed
sure they're
down.
both gone. Was the one in
closed down.
Chapel still there? No, that'd be gone.
That's gone.
Oh, no, that's
No, I don't
gone
think-
because that moved that Rock Cafe from the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you been there when the music starts? It's so awkward, man. They pull up like you're sitting there trying to eat your burger.
Is that one of the ones where there's like the staff are dressed up like in 50s?
It looks like a 50s, yeah. Like they've got
It's supposed to be like a 50s diner.
diner. They've got the Elvis statue.
Are they
whatever.
dancing to the music to staff?
Dude, you're sitting there trying to eat your burger.
Let the poor guy just
got
serve people.
sauce.
Don't make them go through that,
You
man.
got
Seriously.
sauce all over
Dance,
you.
dog.
And all of a
Dance,
sudden,
Tony.
1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock.
Oh,
right.
no.
And they start. They always do the dance.
Do you reckon in
man.
his head he's like, I'm going to fucking shoot myself? Like, I'm going to shoot myself.
Dude, could you
That's probably what the people do that can't get a job on like Broadway or whatever.
They go do that.
Have to do. That's like to get their stars. They have to go through that first, so that they can apply. Like they have
That's
to have
fucked,
something.
though. That's.
Do you reckon they get paid like a loading?
Nah.
Yeah, like an arvo shift. You're doing the dance off. Like,
You probably get paid just like normal.
just an hourly rate.
It's like food. Nah, no way.
What, dance?
Wait.
Dance.
No, hang on, wait a second.
Did you imagine that?
Forget that we're in our
You have to dance. You fucking dance. I'm not fucking dancing nothing,
To
dickhead.
me, that would be like being a monkey, just being told when to like do something.
Yeah.
Like, come on, monkey.
Dance, boy.
With the little, like the collar, with the little, like the cymbals, ding 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 ding. That's to me what it would be
Okay,
like.
forget that we're in our 30s, all right? Let's say we were 16.
No.
Nah, no way, not a chance.
I'm seeing myself back then. No, not a chance.
No way.
I don't think I could do it.
No
I
fucking
think,
way.
to be honest, I think when we were at that age, I think we would have even done it, been less likely to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because we had.
Because now it's like, I might need some cash.
Yeah.
now it's like we've copped
I
it
think at that-
long.
And you try to make it better. Well, I'm not stripping for money. I'm just dancing. Like, I'm not selling drugs. I'm not selling drugs.
I think
I'm
at that
pointing
age,
out.
at that age, I think it was more about pride, whereas
Yeah.
now it's more about dignity.
Yeah, back then, imagine my mate
Wait,
seeing
what's
me.
the difference? Hang on.
Pride is more of a selfish.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Fuck that.
Yeah, like
I'm better than that.
serious. Oh, yeah, I'm better than that. Dignity,
My pride.
dignity is like your being, like I don't know,
It's
like,
within yourself.
Yeah.
It's within your
like you know who you are.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
going
know
to
who I
betray.
am, and I'm not doing that.
Google the actual...
I've got dignity.
Do you remember Van Houten?
You know, some people like
dignity.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know,
you
some
look up-
people. Yeah, I was looking at. You know, some people. It's like, God's sakes, man, have some dignity.
Yeah. I'll look up pride and you look up dignity.
God's sakes, man, have some dignity.
And I love that one, humility. I love that word. Have some humility.
That's what dignity.
I can just see it. For God's sakes, man, have some humility.
There's a guy pretending to be like a war veteran on the street with no legs. He's like, I sit here for a couple hours a day and they give me money. It's like, for God's sakes, man, have some dignity.
Get a job. He's got no legs. Dignity.
What are you doing down there?
So, dignity.
Governor. For God's sakes, have you no dignity?
I wish I was English, man. I wish.
Appreciate drink, Governor.
Funny, but let's go with the mead. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Every time. Okay, look this way. Okay, hang on. Did you get the thing?
Yeah, I've got it, I've got it.
I've got pride and he's got dignity.
Go with pride first. Go with pride.
All right.
Pride and dignity.
So pride.
Look at us, mate.
So number one, pride, a feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievements, the achievements of one's close associates, or from qualities of possessions that are widely admired. Then number two is consciousness of consciousness of one's own dignity.
Okay,
So it's
so
a
then-
consciousness of dignity.
Okay, so then it goes on to dignity,
Yeah.
which is the state or quality of being worthy of honour or respect.
So at that age, we
Or 2, a composed or serious manner or style.
exactly.
So
at that
majesty,
age,
regalness.
so at that age, we were proud. We had an inkling of what dignity was, but we didn't know what it was just yet. But at our age now, we know what dignity is.
Like, how far would I go to get that $40?
Exactly. So it'd be like, so would you say
I
someone
really want
who-
that game.
So, Fear Factor? Remember Fear Factor? Would you say people who went on that had dignity?
No.
Nah,
There you
no
go.
chance.
No.
But that's okay, dude. That's like Jerry Springer.
Oh man, there's no dignity on that. Dude, that's throw it out the window. That's the kind of you get the kind of people on there that would get the tattoo named Dignity and spell it wrong.
With 2 E's on the end. Double G, double E.
And what does dignity mean? That's my daughter's name.
That's a dollar.
Name this daughter's Dignity. 2 G's and 2 E's.
Did you end up watching that Robin Williams interview with Craig Ferguson?
Oh yeah, man.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Did you
that's
see when he does that whole bit about
Chlamydia.
The chlamydia?
Your father's here.
Your father's here. And Robin Williams just loses
Yeah,
it.
it was probably one of the funniest things I've seen.